Hello guys and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to look at how to use Kdenlive for beginners. This is completely for beginners in a very short time. Okay, so to begin with, all you need to do is to come to this website kdenlive.org/in. If you want the English version, you can just bring you over here. It's a free and open source video editor, so you can just click on this to download whichever operating system you have. They have for Mac and for Windows as well, so you can just click on download to go ahead and download the video. You can see it has the software available for Windows, for Linux, as well as for Mac operating system. So you can just go ahead and specify your own operating system and just go ahead and click to download it very easily. So the installation process is also click through. So all you need to do after the download, you can just see it over here. It has just installed. You can see Kdenlive over here. So you just click to open. And here we are at a brand new Kdenlive platform that we just installed. So let me just quickly take you through the basic tools that you've come across in the platform. So for example, this is the project bin. This is where you drag and drop all your footage and all your media, from the images, videos or audios. You can all drag them and put them over here. And this is the next to it is the clip monitor, which you can have a preview of whatever you have as a media in the properties in the project bin over here. You can preview it over here by just double clicking. You can see a preview of it over here. And this is the project monitor. Whatever you have on the timeline, this is where you preview it and have a look at it generally. And then down here you have the timeline. This is where you have all the footage that you want to work on. You can bring them over here and do all the editings that you may need to do along the way. Okay, so down here you have the effect properties and audio properties, effect and composition properties. As we walk around, you'll be able to see how we can change or observe the properties of all the audios, the effects and the compositions, and even the time remaining and other things over here, subtitles, all of them over here. So the first thing we need to do to kind of give to start is to import some media. So you can do that by either coming over here. You can say add clip or folder, or you can add color clip or thereabout. You can add titles or thereabout. You can see the different kind of additions over here. So for example, let's say we're adding a simple folder over here, and we can give it a name, trial, and we can just go ahead and right click. You can just right click anywhere in the bin and then create add a clip or folder. You can just navigate to wherever you have your clip within your computer. For example, I have this introduction, this one, it's an animation video that I made. So you can just select it and you can open to put it into the project bin. Okay, you can say continue to this, and once it is here, you can have a preview of it in the clip monitor. So you can see it over here. Okay, so you can see a preview of it together with the audio part of it. So you can see the in point. This is the out point. If you want to drag any clip into the timeline, you may have two options. You can drag it directly over here and just put it into the timeline very easily, or you may specify some given point, for example the starting point and the ending point. Maybe you may not want the entire clip to be brought in. So all you need to do is to come over here. You can just take the playhead, just move it to anywhere you want to mark as your in point. For example, I may want to bring in this at this point, mark this point as the in point. So I press on the letter I to mark this as the in point, and then I can move again the same playhead to another point, for example to this point, and I can mark the letter, hit the letter O on my keyboard, and this specify the out point. So you can see the in point and out point fully specified within the clip monitor. So right now you have the option to drag it and drop it into the timeline, and it's going to drag and drop just the very selected portion of that video clip that you have just selected. So right now we will have dragged both video and audio together by just dragging from here down to the timeline. If you want to drag and drop only the video section, you can just come over here. As you hover over the video, the media selection, the audio, you can come over here also to this audio, to this speaker sign, and you just drag, and you can see it just brings in only the audio section of the clip. Okay, so it all boils down to you. Whichever one you prefer, you can just go ahead. If you want to bring in the whole, you can just select, drag from here, and just drop just like it down. Next is we can do some basic editing over here. Okay, so once you are in the timeline, the first thing you need to notice is You have other properties over here. For example, you may be able to lock a given media, which means at this point, this video cannot be edited. This timeline, this entire clip section cannot be edited. You cannot add any video over here, and you cannot remove anything over here. So this is done if you are fully satisfied with the editing you have done to a given clip, and you want to lock it against any change in the future. You can just lock it, and for you to add or remove anything, you have to unlock first. You can hide the video section over here by just selecting on this. You can hide it. You can add the title name. You can give this a name. For example, you can say animation 1. You can give it a name, okay, and you can add any track if you want to by just coming to anywhere in this track, and this green track. You can just select, right click it, and say insert track, or delete a track if you don't want. You can show record controls, you can separate channels. You can do any of those from here as well. Next is you can try to do some basic editing within the clip. For example, you can select a clip and you can easily move it up or down, or you can move it around within the timeline. You are free to move it to any section of the video. You can move it away as well and rearrange also if you want at any given point. That's the first thing you can do with the selection tool. Okay, you can do that with the selection tool. The next thing you can do is, in terms of editing, you can use the razor tool, or by clicking the shortcut X. So you can use the razor tool by just clicking on this scissors button, and you can see the red line enabled over here. So at any given point, if I left click, it's going to cut my clip into two. Okay, so this is the entire clip, and cut it into two at any given point. Again, if I want to cut at this point, I just left click, and you can see it has separated it into two as well. So I have now 3 clips. I can come back to my selection tool, and I can move them individually. You can see I can separate them, and I can move them individually just like so. Okay, very easily. So this is the function of the eraser tool. You can cut the clip at any given point. Let's say we bring it back, and let's say we want to do some more editing. For example, I want to delete this section of the clip. So I can right click and come to delete selected item, and you can see it has deleted it, only that it left a blank space in between. So I have the option to right click over here as well and say remove space, and you can see it quickly clips or join the 2 clips together very perfectly. So I can undo this, and another way I can do it, I can undo and the deleting as well. And if I want to remove this and close the gap at this within 1 clip, I can just right click and come to extract clip. I can just extract, and you can see it does the same thing. So it removes the clip and cover up the spaces as well perfectly. So this is more or less like doing a ripple delete. Okay, you just remove the content and then cover the gaps. So this is the cutting tool, or the removing tool. You can do ripple delete as well from the extreme ends. Later I will show you how to do that. Next is we have the spacer tool. Spacer tool is very handy. Sometimes you may want to move the clips together. You can easily use the spacer tool. So once you select on this spacer tool, you can be able to move the clips directly together like this. And if you want to move them from beginning to the end, you can see it will just move all of them together. If you deselect the spacer tool, then you have to move your clips individually. For example, you will have to be moving them individually like this. But with the spacer tool enabled, you have to move them together, all of them at the same time. Okay, so this is the use of the spacer tool. Then you have the slipping tool. Okay, slipping tool also can move the clip around, and while you can be seeing the preview on the monitor panel. So whenever we want to see the preview of whatever we have on this clip, we can just easily select it, and we can double click. We can just come all the way here and click.
Whether you are an artist or have no drawing skills, this course will teach you how to create activating whiteboard.
Okay, we can enable over here, and you can see the preview like we have said over here in the project monitor. So if you want to move the clip, a given section of the clip, or you want to have a preview, you can use the slipping tool, just like the name as it implies, slipping tool. You can just enable it, and you can see you can move around, and you'll be able to see a preview of what you have on your clip, and how you move around to have a preview of it directly in the project panel. Next we have is the ripple tool. We can ripple delete from the edges. For example, at this point, if you enable the ripple tool, you can come to the edges of the clip and just select click, and just you can select, you can drag, and you can see you are trimming the video and bringing in the remaining part of this section of the video together as well. So moving them at the same time, that's ripple. Okay, moving them together. If you want to do that individually, you can go back to the selection tool, come to the endpoint, and you can move individually, trim individually from the end. You can do that also from both sides, okay? As far as the clip has not ended at that particular point. So if it ended, you can see it will keep extending until it gets to the endpoint. Okay, so if you want to trim and cover up or move the clips together, you can enable the trimming tool over here, and you can do that very nicely. And you can see it moves accordingly with the other clips as well. So this is about that. Next we have effects. Okay, you can check out the effects over here. You have a range of effects. You have video effects. You can see them over here. You have audio effects. You have some custom effects that have been set aside as a preset, and you have the favorites. You can see favorites over here. You can have different kind of favorites. These ones also have been put as a template, and you can download many more favorites also if you want from here. By just clicking on this, you can download more other effects as well. So let's go back to the video effects. You can see different kind of effects. You can bring in different effects. For example, you can say put in the Bezier curve. You can just drag and drop an effect, and you can see it listed on the clip. So once you select that particular clip, you can see the properties over here, the effect properties, effect and composition properties. You're free to play around with the effects over here. For example, you can increase or decrease, play around with the coloration, or you can create another point over here and play around with it. You can see in the preview panel how the coloration or the effect is changing the entire video. So you can click and move around, and you can change the channel. You can change the luma formula from here. You can change the channel and do many more things from here. So for example, you can make it green and you play around with the green coloration, increase or decrease, and play around with the effects as well down here. So basically this is the you can put in blur effect, blur and sharpen effect as well. You can see all of them over here. You can have mask and keying effects over here. You can check on any one of them. Color effects, you can apply lots. Transform effects, you can apply different kind of cropping and all that. You can see the transform, cropping. You can add corners. You can put in other different kind of effects that you have from here. So this is kind of very, very handy when you are coming to do basic editing. So let's say we want to add in motion effects. So motion effect, you can bring in different kind of transitions, or they are about fade in, fade out, freeze and glitch color, or navels, and anyone you want to put. So let's say at this point we try to join these clips together and we want to add in a transition in between them. So let's say we want to add in fade in. So fade in usually starts from the beginning. You just drop and you can see it over here. Once you drop a given effect, you can see it over here. So you can increase or decrease the effect, the duration over here. You can see as you are increasing or decreasing, it's also showing over here. Okay, you can do that manually, or you can do that from here directly. You can see the increase or decrease, and you can, this is fade in. You can click to have a preview of how it's going to fade in.
The quality explainer and
perfectly, and you can put in fade out as well. So fade out, you can just drag and fade out directly. You can put on this clip, clip. You can increase or decrease also. Once you come to the properties, you can see it over here. This is fade out. So on a given clip, you can see the properties. This is fade out. You can see increase or decrease, and you can as well have a preview on both of them. So let's have a preview. This is fade out and fade in. Okay, very nicely done. So this is the effects. You can have many other effects if you want to play around with. So this is it. You can check out the clip properties. Any clip property, any clip, you can check its property over here. And what we have been doing over time, you can check the history over here. All what we have done, you can see over here. Everything that we have done, the processes, what we brought in, how we resize, how we edit some of the clips. You can see the processes directly over here. So the next thing I want to show us is how to bring in text. Okay, how to add titles and maybe probably do some editings. So to add text or to add titles into your video clip, all you need to do is to come back to the project pane, right click anywhere and click on add text or add title clip. So once you click on add title clip, the title clip dialog is going to come up over here. You are free to come over here and just write welcome to Epic Mentorship. So you've written this and you can align this You can change the alignment. Over here you can align vertical and align horizontal, so it fits into your screen, okay, at the center of your screen. So you have the option to play around with the different properties. For example, you can move it up or you can move it down if you want from here by the selections. You can see the default position. As you change the position, align left, align right, everything changes from the XYZ direction. And you have the option to change the coloration as well by just clicking on the solid color. You can change the color at any given point and it will take in that color. If you want to put gradient, you can select gradient color and change the gradient color, the color 1, color 2. You can change all of them from here. You can just select and change it very nicely and easily. So you can see a preview over here. Say okay, it takes that. You want to put it as a gradient color. You have the option to change the text font style, okay, the font styles over here. You can put any style. You can say you can go with this if you want. You can check the background and remove the background. Animation, you want to put animation. Patterns, you can put patterns from here as well if you want. But this is the very basic tutorial. You can align, check the alignment over here and do other very basic things like putting an outline. You can have an outline of 5. You can put in enable shadows if you want, and increase or decrease the blurriness and the offset of the shadows over here. You can do all that from here. And you can add in a shape. You can add in a shape. For example, you can add a rectangle. You can click to add a rectangle, just draw it, or you can click to add a circle, just draw it over here, and all stuff like that. So you can add anything. And down here you can just play around with the grid lines. You can use grid lines if you want to enable or disable the grid lines. Right now you can enable or disable. The grid lines are quite helpful because they enable you to know exactly how your text and your other elements are going to be fitted in the screen. Okay, so you can increase or decrease the sizing from here, or you can always fit to screen if you so wish. Okay, or you can always zoom out. All right, so you can always zoom out, and you can show background if you want to show the background, and if you don't want to show background, you can click and have it without background. Okay, so you can save this. You have the option to, once you finish, you are satisfied with all what you have added and edited. If you are satisfied with everything, you can just go ahead and click on create title over here, or you can save as a properties. Okay, save and add to project. You can save this as a template and then you can add it to your project as well. But I will just go ahead and click to add the project, the text to my project, and you can see it has added. You can see a preview of it over here. So if I want to add it to the given project that I'm working on, all I need to do is just to drag it over here and put it on the timeline. Okay, very easily. You can see it. I put it in the timeline, and you can see the preview of it in the canvas. Okay, in the project monitor over here. So you're free to just have a preview of it, how it's going to look like, and whatever you're going to do. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope at this point, if you are gaining value from this video, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons to keep enjoying videos like this. So let's continue. The last thing that I may want to show us is how to render and export our video. So if you are certain with everything that you've done, you like the arrangement, you like all the editings that you've done, the positioning and coloration and effects and whatever you have, you want to render the video and export it. Okay, so let us save the file first. Okay, let's save the file, specify the location, and let's say we come to here and we can go over here and save our file first. Okay, so let's save it, call it animation 1, and we can click on save. Okay, so the last section of the tutorial is to render and export our video. So to do that, all you need to do is to come to the project over here, and you can come to render directly over here. So the first thing you notice is you need to specify the properties of the video. So for example, the default is MP4 H.264, which is usually the best if you're uploading on YouTube and other platforms as well. So you can just specify location by just clicking on this. You can add the location directly, navigate to wherever you want to save within your computer and just select that particular position. And the next thing is you can just export the full project or selected zone within the project. But for now, I want to export the entire project, and you can just click on render to a file, start the rendering, and you can see it over here and the processes, it has just started. All right, so once it's finished, you can see the result. Very fast and nice. So this is the rendering process. It takes very little time to render and export the video depending on the size and length of your video. Right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit about how to use the Kdenlive video editor to edit your video footage very nicely and professionally. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to always hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay connected to this channel for more of our very useful videos. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.